Hello everyone, this is Isam Bhaktir.
And this is Ariful Samrakib.
We are the student of Political Science at Noakhali Science and Technology University.
Today in our video, we are going to discuss one of the most important issues in Bangladesh foreign policy, the Rohingya crisis.
In this video, you guys are going to learn about who the Rohingya are, what are the present condition of Rohingya in Bangladesh, whether they are becoming a burden for Bangladesh, and the previous regime policy toward the Rohingya issues.
And we will also discuss why the previous regime failed to send Rohingya and what the present government policy towards the Rohingya issues might be. And finally, we will discuss the possible opportunities and challenges related to Rohingya crisis.
So, Rakib, let's start our conversation. Before discussing the foreign policy toward the Rohingya issues, Rakib, could you explain who are the Rohingya and what are the causes of this humanitarian crisis?
The Rohingya are a Muslim ethnic minority originating from Rakhine State in Myanmar with a distinct culture and linguistic identity. Despite their long historical law, which rendered them stateless. Since 1918 as the Rohingya have forced institutionalization discrimination, including restrictions on movement, education and employment. These policies, combined with their periodic military operations, created conditions of sharp marginalization. The primary reason for their exploitation lies in ethnic religious discrimination as well as the state's refusal to recognize them as a legitimate ethnic group. In 1991 and 1992, military crackdown forced approximately 250,000 Rohingya to flee Bangladesh. Although some were repatriated, persecution persisted. The crisis escalated dramatically in 2017 when a large-scale military campaign described by the United Nations as an ethnic cleansing led to the mass displacement of over 7 lakh Rohingya. Most chose refugee camp in Cox's Bazar, making Bangladesh the center of one of the world's largest refugee crises. So Bhaktiar, do you know about the present conditions of Rohingyas in Bangladesh?
Yeah, I know about it. At present, the Rohingyas are living in very difficult condition, mainly in Cox's Bazar camp. More than 1 million people live in crowded areas where basic services are limited. Recent reports show that the situation is getting worse due to lack of funding. Food support has been reduced and access to healthcare is limited. As a result, many children are suffering from malnutrition. In addition, many refugees feel unsafe in the camps because of violence and weak security. Many also face problems getting proper medical care. Environmental risks like floods and landslide make their lives even more dangerous. Overall, although Bangladesh is providing shelter, the Rohingya still face poverty, insecurity, and an uncertain future. Rakib, do you think it is burden for Bangladesh?
Yes, it is burden for developing countries like Bangladesh. The large number of refugees increase demand for food, healthcare, security, which strains limited resources. Can you tell me what were the previous regime policy towards the Rohingya issues and what were the influence of global power about this issue?
Okay, thank you. League followed humanitarian approach toward the Rohingya issues by giving them shelter. They used international diplomacy, especially through the United Nations, to gain global support. Influence of global pressure like China follows a non-interference policy, avoiding pressure on Myanmar regarding the Rohingya issue. It focuses on regional stability and economic cooperation, promoting bilateral talks for a long-term solution. United States emphasizes human rights protection for Rohingya and supports accountability in Myanmar. It provides humanitarian aid and diplomatic pressure, including support for refugee relief in Bangladesh. Why previous regime like Army League failed to send Rohingyas back to their home? Was it security concern?
There were several reasons for failing. Firstly, lack of safety and citizenship guarantee in Myanmar made Rohingya unwilling to do. Secondly, Myanmar's slow and unwilling response blocked real progress in repatriation talk. And finally, the Rohingya themselves refused voluntary return due to fear of persecution. So, failure was not only political but also rooted in security, trade, trust, and international cooperation problem. What are the future of Rohingya issue if it is not solved?
If it is not solved, there will be some problems. Like first, refugee crisis may become permanent as Rohingya continue to live in camp of Bangladesh. Second, humanitarian pressure will be increased, like food shortage, education problem, etc. Third, there is a risk of security concern. And fourth, and finally, it may create a heavy economic and social burden on Bangladesh.
Thank you.
Rakib, I think the policy of non-interference make it difficult for Bangladesh to solve the Rohingya problem.
Yes, it creates some limits because Bangladesh cannot directly pressure on Myanmar. However, it helps Bangladesh maintain peaceful foreign relationship while seeking a diplomatic solution for the Rohingyas.
Maybe Bangladesh should not strictly follow the principle of non-interference in Myanmar internal affairs in the Rohingya crisis.
No, Bangladesh should follow because respecting sovereignty helps the diplomatic relations with Myanmar and avoid conflicts.
So what kind of foreign policy approach should the new government of Bangladesh adopt to deal with the Rohingya crisis?
New government of Bangladesh can use a mixed foreign policy approach to solve the Rohingya crisis problem. From a realist view, Bangladesh should focus on national security and border control while keeping strong pressure on Myanmar for the safe repatriation of Rohingya. From a liberal view, it should work closely with the United Nations and other international partners to increase aid and diplomatic cooperation. From an idealist view, a new government should promote human rights and justice for the refugees. From a constructive view, it should build trust and shared understanding relations between Bangladesh and Myanmar through dialogue.
So after discussing all these points, the Rohingya crisis is not only a humanitarian issue but also a major challenge for Bangladesh. Bangladesh has given shelter to Rohingya refugees despite limited resources, but their long-term presence creates economic, social, security challenges. As we discussed, the repatriation process failed due to Myanmar unwillingness, lack of safety guarantees, and weak international cooperation. Bangladesh needs a balanced foreign policy that protects national interest and while fulfilling humanitarian responsibilities.
Thank you for watching our video. We hope this discussion help you after understand the foreign issue through the use of Bangladesh foreign policy.